Okay, so building a startup,
Yeah.
it's like you're spinning plates while riding a unicycle.
Uh-huh. I like that.
Right. It's exhilarating,
Yeah.
but also a little chaotic.
Absolutely.
There's a mountain of information out there.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
Totally. And it's so easy to feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, I think a lot of founders feel that early on, for sure.
Yeah, and while you're juggling funding, product development, and marketing,
Right.
You've got to have your eye on all the balls.
Yeah.
But it's easy to let this one crucial element slip through the cracks.
Oh, absolutely.
Your people.
Your people.
Yeah.
And that is where things get interesting.
Okay, tell me why.
Because while your team is your biggest asset, building and managing it effectively,
Right.
that can also become your biggest headache.
Yeah.
This is Unitique. Please subscribe to this channel and like the video. It is important for us and for YouTube algorithms.
Especially when resources are tight.
Especially when resources are tight.
For sure.
So that's why today we are diving deep into this article called Why Startups Need Fractional HR. Immediate expertise at a fraction of the cost.
It's a good one.
So we're going to unpack this relatively new approach to HR,
Okay.
which is, as I said, quickly gaining popularity, especially among startups.
Yeah, and for good reason.
Okay, so
It offers a solution to some of the biggest HR challenges that startups face.
okay.
It walks that tightrope between
Yeah,
expertise and affordability.
expertise and affordability, the two things that every startup is craving.
Exactly.
All right, so before we jump into the nitty-gritty,
Okay.
let's paint a picture
Yes,
of the typical HR dilemma for startups.
I'm ready.
Option 1, hiring a full-time HR professional.
Sure.
Seems like the ideal solution, right?
yeah.
You get that dedicated expertise in-house.
Yeah, there's always a but.
There's a but. What's the but?
It comes with a pretty hefty price tag.
Okay, yeah.
Salaries, benefits, office space.
Right.
It all adds up,
It does.
and especially for early stage companies.
Yeah.
Those costs can be a real strain on the budget.
So it's like trying to squeeze a large piece of furniture through a tiny doorway.
I love it.
It might technically fit, but
It's going to cost you.
it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
Okay, so option 2, outsourcing.
Okay.
Again, sounds good in theory.
Right.
Right, you're handing those HR functions off to somebody else.
Yep.
But
There are drawbacks there.
there are
Now,
drawbacks.
tell me about them.
Often you end up paying high fees for services that you may not even fully utilize. Plus, you lose some control over the process.
Right.
And sometimes there's a disconnect between the outsourced team and your company culture.
So you're caught between this rock and a hard place.
It's a tough spot.
Yeah.
It is.
You need HR support, but the traditional options are either too expensive
Yeah.
or don't quite fit the bill,
Right.
which is where our secret weapon comes in.
Ooh, I like that.
Fractional HR.
Fractional HR, yes.
So tell me, what is that? It's kind of like having an all-star team of HR specialists on call,
Okay.
ready to step in when you need them.
I like that.
You get the benefit of their expertise
Right.
without the full-time commitment
Uh-huh.
or cost.
And that is a game changer for startups.
It can be, yeah.
Imagine having access to seasoned HR professionals, people who have navigated all the challenges of building and scaling teams,
Right.
but without having to offer them a full-time salary and benefits package.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like having a mentor who's also a seasoned player in the field,
I like that, yeah.
right, guiding you through the HR landscape.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And these fractional HR professionals, they've seen it all.
Oh, wow.
They know what works.
Uh-huh.
They can help you avoid those common pitfalls
Yeah.
and make informed decisions that align with your business goals.
So you're not just getting someone to handle paperwork, you're getting a strategic partner.
That's the key.
Yeah.
That's the real value add.
Right, who can help you build a solid foundation for your team.
Exactly. And speaking of paperwork, let's not forget about the cost savings.
Okay, yeah.
You're avoiding those hefty salaries and benefit packages,
Yeah.
as well as those often exorbitant outsourcing fees.
This is good news.
It is.
This frees up valuable capital that you can then invest in other critical areas of your business.
Exactly. Critical areas. Exactly.
So product development, marketing.
All that good stuff.
It's like finding hidden treasure in your couch cushions.
I love that. Yeah.
Right. Suddenly you have extra resources to fuel your growth.
And the beauty of fractional HR
Oh,
is that it's incredibly flexible
okay.
and customizable.
So tell me about that.
Your needs as a startup are constantly evolving.
They are always changing.
So your HR support should be able to adapt too.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a sudden hiring surge.
Okay.
Boom, you bring in a fractional recruiter
Oh, nice.
to help you find those perfect candidates.
I like that you just bring in the specialist when you need it.
Exactly, you got it.
Right.
Or maybe you need to revamp your onboarding process.
Okay, yeah.
No problem. You bring in a specialist to help you streamline things and create a positive experience for your new hires.
It's like having a toolbox full of specialized HR tools.
Exactly.
And you can pick and choose exactly what you need when you need it.
Precisely. You only pay for the services you use,
Okay,
which makes it incredibly cost-effective,
makes sense.
especially for startups operating on tight budgets.
Right.
And this avoids getting locked into long-term contracts,
Yeah.
which can be a major roadblock for companies in a constantly evolving landscape.
And let's be real, your time as a founder
Yeah.
is incredibly valuable.
Oh, it's more valuable than gold.
It is. Every hour that you're spending on administrative tasks
Yeah.
is an hour you're not spending on those core business functions that really move the needle.
For sure.
So fractional HR allows you to delegate
Yeah.
those essential but time-consuming HR tasks, freeing you up to focus on what you do best.
Yeah.
Building your product, connecting with customers,
Yep.
and steering the ship toward success.
It's like having a co-pilot in the cockpit
Okay.
who handles all the technical details, allowing you to focus on navigating the big picture.
Oh, I like that analogy. So, what exactly does this co-pilot handle?
Okay, great question.
What are some specific tasks that fractional HR can take off your plate?
Well, it goes way beyond just basic recruitment,
Okay.
which is what I think a lot of people initially think of when they think of HR.
Right.
We're talking talent acquisition, onboarding, HR systems management, compliance, legal,
Wow, the whole 9 yards.
the whole 9 yards. You got it.
And we will dive into those specific areas in more detail later in this deep dive.
Yes, we will.
I'm already intrigued.
Good.
This is sounding less like a temporary fix
Yeah,
and more like a strategic advantage.
it really can be.
But before we get into the specifics,
Okay.
I think it's important to connect this back to the listener. Sure.
Why should they care about fractional HR?
Yeah, that's the big question.
What's the big so what here?
Right. And the answer is simple.
Okay.
Your people are your company's most valuable asset. Full stop.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Fractional HR gives you the tools and the support you need to build and manage that asset effectively,
Correct.
even with limited resources.
Okay.
It's about creating a thriving, productive,
Yeah.
and engaged workforce,
Ah.
even in those early stages when you're wearing a million hats.
Yeah.
And every penny counts.
So it's not just about checking boxes and ticking off tasks.
Wow.
It's about investing in the foundation of your company.
Exactly. It's about empowering you as a founder
Yeah.
to focus on what you do best.
Okay.
Building something amazing.
I love that.
Yeah,
But as a founder, juggling all these moving parts,
right.
how do you even begin to determine
Yeah.
if fractional HR is the right solution for your unique situation?
Yeah, so first you need to take a step back.
And identify your specific HR pain points.
Oh, okay.
What are your biggest challenges right now?
So it's like doing an HR inventory.
Yeah, it's like taking stock of your current situation
Okay.
and figuring out where those gaps are.
Okay, I like that.
Are you struggling to attract top talent?
Yeah.
Is your onboarding process a bit haphazard?
Mm-hmm.
Are you feeling overwhelmed by compliance requirements?
Yeah, good questions.
Once you've identified those key challenges,
Bruh.
you can start exploring how fractional HR might address them.
Finding the right fractional HR partner is crucial.
It is crucial.
It's not just about finding someone with HR experience.
No.
It's about finding someone who understands your industry,
Yes,
your company culture, and your specific goals.
absolutely. You want somebody who gets you,
Yeah.
who speaks your language,
Uh-huh.
who can seamlessly integrate into your existing team.
So it's a bit like matchmaking.
It is.
Finding that perfect HR soulmate for your startup.
I love that.
It's about setting those expectations up front
It is.
and ensuring there's transparency and accountability
Yes.
throughout the engagement.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to have an open and honest conversation about budget and fees.
Yeah.
Fractional HR professionals typically charge an hourly rate or a project fee.
Okay.
So it's important to agree on a fair and sustainable pricing structure.
Fractional HR is sounding less like a temporary fix
Yeah.
and more like a strategic investment
It is a strategic investment.
in the long-term health and success of your company.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
But there's one question that keeps popping up in my mind.
Okay.
How do you know if you've found the right fit?
That's a great question.
What are some red flags to watch out for when choosing a fractional HR partner?
That's an important one to consider for sure.
Yeah.
Just like any relationship, there can be red flags that signal potential problems down the road.
Right.
One of the biggest red flags is a lack of experience working with startups.
Okay.
Startups are unique beasts.
They are different.
They require a different approach than larger, more established companies.
So it's about finding someone who understands that fast-paced, ever-changing nature of the startup world.
Absolutely. You want someone who can adapt quickly,
Yeah,
think on their feet,
right.
and make decisions with limited information.
That's key in the startup world.
It is, yeah.
Another red flag is a lack of transparency or communication.
Well, that's a big one.
You want a partner who's upfront about their fees, their availability, and their process.
For sure.
So it's about open and honest communication from the get-go.
Absolutely. And if a potential partner is hesitant to answer your questions or seems evasive,
Yeah,
that's a major red flag.
good to know.
You also want to be wary of anyone who promises a quick fix
Okay.
or guarantees specific results.
Yeah.
HR is complex.
It is.
There are no easy solutions.
So it's about finding someone who's realistic,
Yes.
who understands the nuances of HR, and who's committed to working with you to find the best solutions for your unique situation. What are some common misconceptions about the cost of fractional HR?
All right. So one of the biggest misconceptions is that it's only for companies with deep pockets.
Okay.
But in reality, fractional HR can be incredibly cost-effective,
Okay.
especially compared to hiring a full-time HR professional.
Right.
You're only paying for the services you need
Right.
when you need them.
Yeah.
So you avoid those hefty salaries and benefits packages.
So it's like having an HR department on demand.
Exactly.
Without the overhead.
Without the overhead.
Yeah.
And you can often control your costs by setting clear expectations about the scope of work and the engagement timeline.
Good point.
Another misconception is that fractional HR is a short-term fix.
Oh.
But in reality, it can be a long-term solution,
Yeah.
adapting and evolving alongside your company.
So it's not just about putting out fires.
No.
It's about building a sustainable HR infrastructure that supports your growth.
Precisely. And as your company grows,
Yeah?
you can adjust your fractional HR support accordingly,
Okay.
adding or removing services as needed.
It's like having an HR system that scales with you,
It is, yeah.
ensuring you always have the right level of support at the right time.
That's a great way to put it.
This is all starting to make a lot of sense.
Good.
Fractional HR is sounding less like a niche solution
Yeah,
and more like a smart and strategic
it is.
approach to building a successful company.
It is.
But I'm curious,
Yeah.
what are some of the biggest mistakes that startups make when it comes to fractional HR?
Okay, so I think one of the biggest mistakes is not defining the scope of work clearly enough.
Okay.
It's important to have a detailed understanding
Yeah.
of what the fractional HR professional will be doing,
Right.
how they will be doing it.
And now, as we wrap up this incredible deep dive,
Yes.
we want to leave you with a final thought.
Okay.
Imagine the possibilities if you could free yourself from the HR burden
Yeah.
and focus entirely on growing your business.
Imagine having a team of experts supporting you every step of the way,
Yeah.
ensuring you have the right people, the right processes, and the right culture to achieve your wildest dreams.
Is fractional HR the key to unlocking that potential for you?
I think it might be.
I think it might be too.
We encourage you to explore this option further
Yeah.
and see if it's the right fit for your startup journey.
And remember,
Yes.
building a successful company is a marathon, not a sprint.
It is a marathon.
Having the right support system in place can make all the difference.
It really can.
So go out there, chase your dreams,
Yes.
and build something amazing. We're rooting for you.
And that's a wrap on today's deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing,
Yes.
and keep diving deep.
See you next time.
Thank you for listening. That's all for today. If you like what we do, please like and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.